have been a youth, and I'm a youth. Letting you tolerate and make peace part of your master plan. You be there.
That's right. Baba, now your choice. Do it. Do what you think you will do that makes you fine. But you will break it. You will. Something you're not in any way, you'll break it. Well, you will get there. For now, some of you haven't really reached that. But when you get there, you will do it, and you will do it well. But for now, I could not just something. What shokolo? They knew. So if you break Nigeria, well, the kind of things I envisage is that, number one, by law, you will be punished. You will know that you will be punished for whatever is wrong, because you know a system that punishes those who have a chance of leading you, will punish you if you do the same. And in Yoruba land, that I think is possible. It starts from the kind of those who are interested in that Yoruba nation. You see, right people should join. Right people should propagate it. The advantage is endless, because you know what? It gives you that. It gives us that template, or let me say, it gives us that opportunity. The opportunity to be the architect, the artist of our own future and that of our own children. That's the advantage you're starting with. There will be no any external wherever interfering in that regard. And with what we have done before, because it's not that we haven't done it before, we have done it before. Yes, we did. 1954, 55, 56, 57 to 1960 were so promising, because we could use what was ours for our own development, dreams, projection, and all of that. But they took that away from us 6 years after what they call the independence, right? And since then, we have never had the chance of sitting where we will say, okay, we agree to this as part of the new or the Nigeria. So if you are running away from that conversation of breaking up Nigeria, don't worry. The way we say it may be too harsh for you. Very soon, you will be older. I've been talking about this now for the past 8 years. Why Yorubas will remain poor. As long as we remain part of Nigeria, we will continue to be poor. And wherever northern Nigeria or all the rogues in the Nigerian system, whenever they drag Nigeria into either borrowing, into war, into different things, they have to expend your resources, recklessly, you will pay for it. And every time they pay for those bullets, or every time they pay for the rehabilitation of those terrorists, every time they donate your money that they borrowed anyway, every time they donate them to the terrorist camp, who always send their fighters, trainers, to Nigeria to do one thing, to Islamize and Afghanistanize Nigeria, which they have now turned to Nigeristan, and what I mean. So it's what do you call it? It's why do I keep getting this message? Again, I am sorry. I am going to quickly pick that. But this time around, when I get back, I think I'm just going to start taking my calls afterward. So sorry. I keep getting that.
Take one family member, 2 family members, knock on all doors, and make sure that new registration, because they may not announce to you on time. The BBC you have has expired. Yes. Yes. You need to spread it around in various local government wards and no matter how difficult it is to be.
Right. So it is the system that produced somebody like that, okay? So I keep using him. It's a guy I like. I mean, I prefer to pop on Baba demented, Baba Atole. So what I was saying earlier before I open my line, right, is that yes, we've done it before they took it away from us. Now, these are the things that the likes of Tifnumbu, if they genuinely love Yoruba people, the Yoruba land, they know that Yoruba will remain poor. Many Yoruba people will continue to fall into poverty. As they drag Nigeria into poverty, many of our people are going to be dragged into it as well. And you shouldn't pretend. This is the kind of things that brought Tifnumbu and gang to limelight politically. Now, they are no longer talking about it anymore. They are talking about how they are going to be in charge, and it's going to be their own turn. And some of these Mufulu Shaoko, these Ombu slaves, they are jumping up and down and say, "Is Yoruba Lokon, even to Rinyibaku, at least she Kilotimpe, even to Juyimba for Shopoloyin Kudan, Nabi to Topoloyimba Kusho Juyin for Danone. Whatever they have done so far is to wreck you. And there's nothing else they probably have to offer. If there's anything at all to offer, right, it's not the next election. It's not, it's not a shaky next election. It should be about the next generation. And if they care about the next generation, right, which are supposed to be some of you, your children. Now, if you look at Nigeria as it is today, Yoruba land as it is today, right, do you see future for your children as we speak? I know some of you are your own local government, so you already think you've secured the future of your children because you have some small money and where have you, Abi? Nah, there's nothing secured in that Nigeria. Once Nigeria happened to you, it would just be like, why me? Yeah. So if the likes of Tifnumbu cares about the generation coming, that they should not, the next generation or the generations and generations coming after, especially in Yoruba land, this if they were born into this Nigeria, forget it to Somalia, people of Somalia, they'll be thanking God that their situation is not as bad as people of Yoruba land. So if they care, they won't be jumping up for election. They will be jumping up to change the foundation of what has created underdevelopment, poverty, insecurity in Yoruba land. Many of our young people, when you see them today, they will tell you, oh, more. If if people are even saying it now that, oh, more, even though some of us are angry and mad with our people in Nigeria that keep complaining about this, complaining about that, but they end up following the same rogues who put them there. Somebody, many people are now saying that, oh, more, if you haven't heard from some of your family members, some friends in Nigeria, you should call them. Okay, you should call them. Things are bad, though. Things are tough. Oh. You get what I mean now? Where everybody's pretending that they are surviving, they will be fine, and the rest of that. So if they care for the future, if you care, and you be like, man, what is it going to be like in 20 years' time? Think about that. What do you think Nigeria will look like in the next 20 years with the way it is going right now? You still have no electricity. You still have no water. You still have no security. Now imagine that for the next 20 years. And God will intervene. That's what they told you 22 years ago. And when they gave you democracy, some of you thought it was God intervening in your problem. Today, it be like say God don't abandon you. Like say God will never abandon his own children. Oh. So God is preserving you to suffer. God is watching you and all of you getting killed. Continue to lie to yourself, okay? So in 20 years' time, are you thinking about it? Are you? How old are you? How old do you think you're going to be in 20 years' time? Do you think the present situation, your present situation right now, as you are watching this video in Nigeria, do you think if the situation doesn't improve in the next 1 or 2 years, you are not going to run mad and go crazy with life entirely? If your situation continues like this for the next 20 years, do you think you can still shout and say, one Nigeria, one Nigeria? It's up to you. Mine is just to remind you that your decisions will always have consequences, just like they say elections have consequences. Why not save yourself from those stress? Why not? Why are you running away from the truth? Why? What is wrong with you? Why are you running away from it? You want somebody to be president so that then you can do what? Do what? Get electricity. Eh? Is it Atiku that will give you electricity? Saraki or Tifnumbu? Who's going to give you that electricity? Who's going to give you that whatever you think you have in mind? But in 20 years' time, you are likely going to still be talking about no electricity. Some of you have no shame. 4 years mean nothing to some of you. But for people who actually understand that if you have to live a life, that you are not going to live a life of a servitude or a life of a slave, suffering and pretending, smiling, thanking God. I say, how far? I say, Baba, we thank God. You thank God that you are alive. You are alive, preserved. To be what? Just to be alive, to be living, Abi? No, you get what I mean now. So it's up to you if you care. And if you do care, 20 years' time, there will be so many other children born into this contraption. Do you think you will still be able to say proud Nigerian then? Or you would have Japa? Aha, you have your own plan as well. Then why are you pretending about one Nigeria? If you can travel out of Nigeria and leave Nigeria that you don't want to go back there, why are you opposing? Why are you against the breaking away of Nigeria? Do you understand that now? You are willing to go to another country and go somewhere else because Nigeria is terrible. Nigeria is bad. You have tried everything. It's not working. Your politicians are corrupt. Your sister, this and that. You complain like everyone else, huh? When you have the chance of complaining and you want to leave Nigeria, Abi, but somebody is telling you that you can have it better if you are not part of that Nigeria anymore. There are many ways you cannot be part of that Nigeria anymore. There are many reasons why you are part of that Nigeria right now. Until that stops, right? Even if you go into somewhere else, is that not you running away from Nigeria? Why not join those who say, let's do it in the best way and save our brothers and sisters, so our precious, especially our precious sisters, all these precious, Yoruba sisters, young ones who could be in so many ways, always of a virtue as they grow into a women of virtue, right? We see all of them are now being shipped down across the desert, being shipped down across the sea, different places where they are being sold off as slaves, sex slaves, ruined, destroyed. Beautiful women, damaged for those who didn't get killed in the process because they are trying to run away from the jungle called Nigeria. So don't go abroad and turn around to become patriotic Nigerian from abroad. It is deceitful. And it is really, really sad. Okay. So the truth of the matter is that there's so much better that can be done if those who understand that they can have it better. If you have a plan of Japa, then why are you opposing the breakup of Nigeria? The reason why you want to Japa is because Nigeria is messed up. Mostly is because it's messed up. You want to go somewhere else and you are desperate to go. When they talk about breakup of Nigeria, you quickly flare up. They talk about Tifnumbu, you jump up. Tifnumbu will be president. She won't shake for you. It's not even a question of shebi. So think. Once you do that, somehow, look inward, you are agreeing to the rot. What we are not possibly agreeing or we are not having any agreement is that you want to lie to yourself. You want to run away from what the solution is, because that solution is completely unthinkable for some of you. You can't think. And then that some said, this is it. It's too much for you. That the only imagination you have is your corrupt, destroyed, ruined contraption Nigeria. Do you understand that now? It's doing more damages to us than some of you realize. But you do realize, but accepting the fact that you can move away from it is so hard, tough for so many of you, right? And that is why you could cling on to a false hope, the lies of it will be better. God is massive. God is this and that. That's a lie you are telling to yourselves. Don't turn to God defender like I told you. Because by the time you turn to God defender, you'll be defending your fake Nigeria God, the one that doesn't do anything other than just to threaten you. Is that not what most of you actually fear? I don't want God to destroy me. Oh, God can just destroy me. Your Nigerian God only destroys you because it is the poor people's God. Do you understand? Nigeria God is fake. It threatens you, it intimidates you. It tells you that if you don't do this, you are going to do that, because they are the imagination of idiots, imagination of morons who have decided to hide behind religion. They are hiding from the atrocities of Nigeria. They are hiding behind religion because, according to them, it gives them comfort and it makes them never to want to fight back. You understand that now? So don't use that your fake Nigeria God on anybody when we are talking about the rogues and what they have done to Nigeria, to Nigerians, and what they still plan to do, and why Nigeria should begin the conversation around breaking up. Don't bring that fake Nigeria God to it. I hope I made myself clear. It doesn't even matter if I made myself clear or not to you. I've delivered the message. And the message is this. You have a terrorist government in Nigeria. We don't know how much they have been funding terrorism, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. We have the evidence. They came to loot, to steal, to destroy, and to kill. And that's exactly what they have done. You have been finding it difficult to believe that for years now. Now we have heard, well, they give money to Taliban. I mean, there are some donations that you don't want to do, you don't want to make if you are a responsible, sensible human being. As a leader, by the way, but Buhari is not a leader. You have a breeding mannequin in charge of the 200 million mumus who call themselves Nigerians. That is why he didn't care. Who is going to raise the red flag? Who is going to challenge him? Who is going to question him? You're going to arrest him because he gave money to Talibans. That's why they could do it. They call it donation to Talibans. Come on. And as a Yoruba man, Yoruba woman, your money is part of that money they gave to Taliban. How much of that money they've given to them that you have no idea of? But what is even the biggie? That's the one you are hearing, Abi. What about the ones they are rehabilitating right there in Nigeria? Terrorists who are raping children, who are selling children. Children, they are selling them as sex slaves. They kidnap school children. Children as young as 5 years old. They kidnap them. They sold them off to other terrorists. They marry them off. And the same terrorists are getting pardon. In Nigeria, the terrorists who kidnap school children, rape them, impregnated them, and put them in family with children. These terrorists will now walk back with a kid with 3 children. And they say he's repented. They will bring camera. You see all their politicians, all of them, they will be reciting surah to this and that, alhamdulillah, this and that, God, Allah, Almighty Allah, we pray, we say thank you to President Buhari, this and that, and you educated morons. One Nigeria idiots. You are jumping there right before your eyes. They said the rapists, all these people who have committed all these crimes, they are celebrated. They give them new clothes. They take their pictures. They said they are rehabilitating them. Is that not a public support for terrorism? They legalize terrorism in Nigeria, and some of you are not seeing it. So when they pay for terror, when they fund it, they have no money. They go borrowing everywhere. And when they borrow this money, they borrow them for 40 years, 60 years, 50 years. And every month, every year, they use 1/3 of your entire budget. Remember that they build your budget based on the rent they are collecting, taxes they are collecting, everything they are collecting from you. They now build your budget on it. In that budget, 1/3 of it, 4-point-something trillion, 6 trillion naira to fight insecurity. 20 billion naira to develop education. How can you grow like that as a people? How? Because you are part of Nigeria. 6 trillion, 5 trillion to fight Boko Haram. 200 billion to build healthcare for 200 million people. No be juju be that. So what I'm telling you is this. All these jargons, Abama we wouldn't have been part of it at all if we were not dragged into Nigeria. So think about that. If you care about your future, if you care about the future of your children, that is if you care at all. Not everyone cares. But if you do, if you think, you will know that being part of Nigeria is what drags us into this. We can't build schools for our children. We can't build hospitals for our people. We can't build good roads. We can't give them electricity. We can't keep them safe. We can't produce a viable economy for our youth. We can't do anything. We turn them to churches to go and start praying. We turn warehouses to churches, miracle centers. Imagine, warehouses that are supposed to be factories, that are supposed to be production centers. We turn them to miracle centers, gigantic churches to go and pray for jobs. Because we are part of Nigeria. Are we not mad that way? Are we not? And never was a time you were sat down to be part of that conversation and say, Shebina, una agree to it. I say, okay, we'll bring the agreement paper. Now, when did we agree that this is going to be? We are poor. We're going to continue to be poor. And in 2 ways, to your politicians, Nigeria as a poor country gives them some leverages abroad. They get some small money here and there. To your religious leaders, Nigeria be a poor country means God love Nigeria because God love poor people. Brainwashing. How can you say because they say God love poor people? Are you mad? Can't you see that? You see, our leaders are stealing our money. Hey, pastor, imam, you see, our leaders are stealing our money. Look at all of this. Hey! Your leaders don't understand that what they are stealing from the poor people, the day God is going to take it from them, it will take more than what they stole from you. And you believe them. Say, no, don't worry. Let God fight. God, you see, there's a way God fight for the poor people. Do you know that's the impression of people in Nigeria? So many people actually agree. They will say, we are mekunu. Mekunu niwa. They shall know our mekunu. Please help us, the poor people, You know that we are poor people. You will see a woman in a shop selling provision. Say, hello, ma. How is market? Market has been very dull. Help us beg the government. There is no electricity. There is no road. There is no hospital. They should help us, we, the poor people. Because they kind of generally believe that it is, though they don't, nobody wants to be poor. But guess what? There are many people who actually love being poor. And they are in their millions because they want to go to heaven. It is difficult for a rich man to pass through the hole of a needle. Rather than for they shall have, you know what I'm talking about. All this brainwashing. They are to calm you down. You see them, they want to go to heaven. You say, Baba, you will see the God that I serve. The God that I serve. If I called him my God, he will destroy them in 7 days. I say, Baba, calm down. Calm down. It's not that your God cannot destroy them in 7 days. But that is not how it works. That's not how it works. Don't wait for 7 days because that 7 days can become 70 years. That's not how it works. So there are people like that too. They like it. They tell them all these things they are doing to you. You will see they are going to hellfire. You just continue to pray to God. Continue to serve God in faith. God will send a miracle. God will make sure that, you see, at least you are not rich and you are not poor. You are managing. Yes, we are thanking God. Oh. The woman they are telling that is, you are thanking God, you are managing. Oh. If they call it crisis, oh. If that same person that is, we are thanking God, say, hey, mama, someone will bring 1 million naira or papa go die. Oh. Hey, 1 million naira. Now that time you realize that they'll begin to say, God, why? God, why? God, have I not served you? God, I served you. They know that 1 million naira is a lot. And they always pray that make something where they know they pray for. May it not affect what they are praying for. It's only when they are in trouble then they begin to feel like God. But even in that trouble, they don't let them think. How? What are the factors? What are the sequence of events that led to this? How did you arrive at this? How come somebody who is sick cannot get access, have access to an easy medical care, that he doesn't have to go and look for 1 million naira before he can get health care? You don't need God in that regard. First, give him medical attention, then go and pray to God. Do you understand? So they make them believe that God loves poor people. So many people too, in order for them to believe that God loves them, they will publicly agree. They will confidently agree and say, I mean, we are poor people, but we thank God. God has been very, very good to us. We are poor. We know we are poor. Politicians will now come to and say, you see all of you poor. I am here to help all of you, to make sure that your children say, hey, thank you, we are poor, Mekunu. You say, that man love Mekunu, that man love poor people. They created the poor people. There are poor people in the UK, but don't let anybody keep lying to you and say, there are also poor people in the UK. Some of you, if your own kind of poverty in the UK, if you compare and you are educated, you don't have mental health issue, you are not homeless, you are not, what do you call it? You probably have a job. What happens is that you are living from hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth, which means you are prone to being manipulated with money induced here and there, which open you up to that same thing, temptation. Abi? So you are poor. But here in the UK, if you want to see people who are poor, she make I give you an example of people who are poor in the UK that you can say, hey, what happened to him? I'll tell you. Those who are disabled. Some people will disagree with me because they will tell you, Mayegun, what are you talking about? I work as a carer. There are many disabled people. Disabled people in the UK, they earn more money than some of us who are doing 24 hours job. I understand. I've also met so many disabled people who have, one way or the other, they have missed that welfare system for them to be put on it in any way. And as we speak, they are living in squalor. But even at that, it doesn't mean that they won't give them house. It doesn't mean that they have no place they can go to get support, but they are living poor. Those are the people that if you take 10 pounds from their bank, in a wrong time, they may not have a gas to power their house that night or that day. We have people who live in that poverty in this country. But they still have few places they go to, not to individuals. So they don't go to politicians' houses. So they don't go to their representatives' houses. So they go to government buildings, government agents, government, agents and all of them for that help because they are there. Do you know that people who live poor in the UK? Drug addicts. People who have used most of their money, and every money they get to buy drugs, which means they will have less to take care of themselves. They will have less to buy, to eat good food. So when you see them, some of them, because they cannot afford to pay for electricity, to pay for gas, they will rather go and start sleeping rough. You see, when you see them sleeping rough, it's because, you see, most of them when you see sleeping rough, they still get money from the system. Imagine, that poor person they are telling you about, some of them collect 100 pounds, 80 pounds every week. Some of them collect 60. They are very small money, very, very poor money. But this money in this system, they are meant to get to provide food, 1 week food, gas, electricity, and transportation. That person doesn't need, if he's sick, he doesn't need any money to go to hospital. If he decide that he wants to go for, even if he's a drug addict and decide he wants to go for rehabilitation, he will not spend a dime to go to rehab in this country. There is always help for them. But you can see, he's very poor. What happened? These are the reasons. So because they will use all their money on drug, because they cannot afford to keep buying the drug because money they get from government is so little, they go out there to start begging. Please help me. Please help me. If you see anybody begging in the UK and that person is British, it is because they have issue with drug. It's not because they're not getting money. They are getting money, but it's not enough. When you also see people who are also poor in this country, these are undocumented immigrants. I was in that category once. That was when I was doing, I had to do cleaning. You have to do cleaning at odd hours, horrible weather, poor pay. You have no paper. You're living rough. But to me as a Nigerian, who come from that place, despite the fact that I was doing odd jobs, Baba, in my own regard, in my own little way, I was rich. I'm talking about odd jobs that could at least give me £500 a week. That's a lot of money. I was okay. But it is within, what do you call it, somewhere around the poverty line too, if you compare what I was doing. I was working as Speke, you know, the people who work in the toilet. Some of us who work in the toilet and you give aftershave to those who come to the club and the rest of the tip you, they give you money and the rest of that. I did that for good 5 years in this country, in this Scotland, in this Glasgow. So I was in that category. I was making good money. I won't consider myself as that category of people who get small, who have to live that below poverty and all that. I wasn't getting any money from any government. And for the past, since I've been to this country, I've been in this country now for, well, more than 8 years, or 9 years rather, yeah? I have never had a cause to go to anywhere and say, please help me, I need money. Because they told me categorically I never qualified for it. So, the point they are making is that, yes, I live here and I still have the chance. And we saw the people who live in poverty too. So people manage and build, but the system is there to really take care of you than what Nigeria will offer you. So poverty here cannot be compared with the poverty they tell you in Nigeria. See, there are poor people abroad too. The poor people abroad, they have 24 hours electricity. The poor people abroad, they have access to the same healthcare that Ifnumbu, Buhari, and the rest of them, they loot your money to come and get here. The one they pay millions for when they come to the UK. There are poor people, they have access to them without paying any dime. So the terrorists ruling Nigeria, they impoverish Nigeria, they impoverish the Yoruba people, even though we're supposed to be rich people. Our people are not supposed to be living in that poverty level, but they will continue to live in that poverty level as long as those criminals who are supposed to speak up continue to be part and parcel of these people who milk the system. Until that changes, right? Yeah, let's continue pretending and lying to ourselves. So you are there. You are not a drug addict. You are there. You are educated. And you are still poor. That is nobody's fault. It is the system. If you don't understand it, I just told you. So if you want it differently, what do? You create your own opportunities. These ones can't give them to you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They can't give it. They won't give it to you. All this hardship that you are, everything you are seeing today, 20 years ago, now so it be. 40 years ago, that's the same thing. This is your own time. In the next 20 years, another set of people will be here. They will be complaining about no electricity, no this and that. How can you then say Nigeria is going to be great? How? How? It's up to you. It is up to you. Graduate, begging, graduate, living like paupers, graduate. What's the essence of that, your education then? If you can't think that way, then your ancestors are thinking for you. So what do you expect? Their thought, their line of thinking is to create poverty, weaponize it, and you are helping them because your brain is weaponized already. If you can't think straight this way, you're going to queue behind them. They care about the next election. You care about the next election. You don't even care about yourself. But one thing you should remember is this, right? All these have consequences. Remember that. That's all I'll tell you. So don't pretend later and say, God, why? God, why? What is God, why? There's no God, why. You know why. Cannot plant maize and expect to reap potato. Let me go to bed. Guys, thank you so much. I thought I could take some calls earlier. But it seems I don't use all the time. Somehow, we shall manage to enjoy ourselves tonight. So to my friends on YouTube, my friends on Facebook, lately Facebook will let you share Mayegun's Diary political. I don't know. Whatever they like, they keep doing. It doesn't really matter. But for the fact that all of you who took your time to, to watch this tonight and be with me this long, remember before you go, don't leave the temple of truth without dropping your offerings. Don't. Like the video, share it, so that when we meet again, next time, you are not coming alone. You will come with somebody you invited. You know how we do it in the temple now? I was supposed to be bringing you all out and say, okay, oh yeah, if you are a new member, raise up your hand. Oh yeah, everybody with this at the whole temple. Oh yeah, shake them like that, and say, welcome. You are welcome to the temple. You are welcome. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, don't leave without your offering, okay? Like the video, all right? Share it. Subscribe if this is your first time. And when I see you next time, yeah, we will continue from here. I should probably tell you something about our fundraiser. No, I won't. But I want to say thank you to every one of you who has been using that, going to that fundraiser, the Give, Send, Go. And you're still there, hardening it up, getting it piled up and all of that. We are so grateful to all of you. From Monday onward, yes, we're going to begin that mobilization as discussed, and a lot of things in the pipeline. Trust your man, Mayegun. I will be here to update you properly when there is due for proper one. Apart from that, like I said, we're going to be doing every week fundraiser until we clock that 50 grand on Give, Send, Go, and we cross it. We may even go to 100 grand. I don't know. We'll find out. But let's meet our target first, okay? Until I see you again, right? Thank you. And you should all have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé.